Taken for a strike, and we're underway here in Columbia, South Carolina, on what's turning out to be a beautiful but warm day here in the capital city. We were expecting rain showers, but we've got sunshine, some clouds, and some humidity, and so far so good.
Which, if you're familiar with the South and Columbia area, that sounds about right. Right on par.
Laird up the middle, snared by Hurd on the fly. And that's the first out. Laird now 3 for 8 in the series. Brings up the center fielder, Alex Honnold. Here's the defense for the Gamecocks, and it's pretty much the same as we've seen all weekend. Honnold steps in, the senior. See her numbers on the year. 1 for 6 in the series with a couple of walks and a run scored.
You know, one thing that Coach Smith really appreciates about Jory Hurd is that Hurd is not afraid to go and attack the inside corner to these hitters. And we've seen her over the last 2 seasons, and she's really developed as a pitcher, and being able to attack the inside corner, that's huge.
Denver Bryant with a nice play at second base, ranging towards the bag, had to throw across her body, but still got Honnold by a step. And there's 2 away quickly here in the Missouri first.
Yeah, and I think if you watch that play again, if you have the ability to do that, Denver Bryant and players like this at this level, they just make those plays look so easy, and I'm here to tell you they are not, like, at all. Talk about range and just strength in the upper body to be able to get there.
Here's Maddie Gallagher. She's the second baseman for the Tigers, the former Gamecock in her second season at Mizzou. You see what she's done in the series so far. 0 for 7 with a sac fly to drive in a run. Gallagher spent her first 2 years here in Columbia, South Carolina, originally New York native. There's the strike on the inner third. Hurd making her 27th appearance, 6-2, leads the team with a 1.88 earned run average. He's 5th in the SEC in opponent's batting average at 180. And gets a strikeout here, a 1-2-3 inning for Jory Hurd and the Gamecocks. Nothing doing for the Tigers.
However, the key to her effectiveness is going to be her changeup.
Gotta love that 3 strikeout to 1 walk ratio. Denver Bryant, the second baseman, to lead things off. Takes a strike here for the Gamecocks. It's pretty much the same lineup they've had most of this series. Elena Valder, the pitcher, yesterday hit for herself, and Blankenship didn't hit for herself, but she's back in there now. Bryant, 1 for 6 in the series. And 1 hit was a double back in game 1 on Friday.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to talk to both teams. They're seniors. This is senior weekend and last regular season game for all of the seniors. And so I wanted to just kind of find out some information about their favorite memories. What do they want to be known about in terms of the team when they graduate? And Denver said her favorite memory was beating Clemson. And I'm like, yes.
Did you give her a big hug?
Yes. Yes, it was. And it was funny because she said, you know, you look at her right now and she's got a really good focus face. She wants to be remembered as the funniest player to come through South Carolina.
Strikes out looking here as Krings collects her first strikeout. And the first out here in the first inning. Brings up Riley Blampede, another senior. She's the center fielder once again. Blampede, the Gamecocks' leading active hitter, with Carly Henderson out for the last month. Takes a strike on the inner third. Blampede 2 for 7 in the series, no extra base hits. You see her numbers on the year. 6 home runs, leads the Gamecocks. Comebacker through the circle and into center field for a base hit. Blampede with a single up the middle. With seniors in the starting lineup, they had a busy pregame ceremony. Third baseman Zoe Leno stands in.
Yeah, both Leno and Blampede said that their favorite memory from playing with South Carolina has been last year's SEC tournament, just kind of the whole week. And you hear that a lot from athletes. I mean, the SEC tournament leading into that, which is this time of year, is a fun time of year. And both Leno and Blampede, and actually Anaya Black also said that was their favorite memory.
Yeah, it was a good run for the Gamecocks to the championship game of the SEC tournament last year. Got hot at the right time. They also got, I believe, to the championship of the Tallahassee Regional. 2-0 the count to Leno now. Gamecocks with a runner aboard and just one away here in the first. Lays off that pitch. Leno's been the Gamecocks' leading hitter in this series, 3 for 6 with a double.
Yeah, I'll also say with the way the postseason is set up with single elimination now, there's also something to creating that sense of urgency when you know this could very well be the last game, and then you make it, and then it's like, oh, okay, well this one could be the last game, and so the way that you play is a little bit different.
Infield back, a little bit of a shift on for Leno, the left-handed hitter. Swings and misses, runner goes, thrower is way high, and it'll get into center field. Blampede will take third on the play. It'll be a stolen base and an error to get the runner to third base.
So this is something that Missouri has been struggling with all season long. The reason Coach Anderson thinks that they have not won a Game 3 is because on the third game, the team gets so focused on the outcome of let's sweep, where in games 1 and 2, they're very focused on the process, one pitch at a time, one bat at a time, and how we get there. And so one of her goals for today is to keep the team focused on the process. And so far, it looks like Missouri's kind of slipping back into that sweep mindset.
Payoff pitch misses low, and the Gamecocks have them at the corners here with just one away. First walk issued by Lauren Krings today. The Gamecocks threatening early. They threatened early yesterday, had the bases loaded in the first and second innings, came up empty, so they'll try to do better here today, try to get their first lead of the series, and that'll prompt a visit from Coach Larissa Anderson here.
And Coach Anderson is very aware of Game 3, and she really, I mean, this is her last opportunity of the year for the team to take a Game 3, and so she wants to see progress. But, you know, when you think about sweeping in the SEC, that is very difficult to do. But I think what she's seeing right now is just repeated behavior, and she's trying to make them aware and regroup. How do you regroup and snap them out of that so they get focused? Understanding that South Carolina, this is their last home game, and they have a lot of seniors that are trying to, you know, break that sweep up.
That's Coach Bev Smith in her 14th season. Jen Cummings at the plate. She's the first baseman. Infield in for the Tigers here with just 1 out and 2 on. Fouled straight back. Cummings looking for her first hit of the series. Another senior that was honored in pregame ceremonies. 8 in all. 8 seniors were honored today for South Carolina. Cummings 0 for 6 in this series with a walk. This would be a good time to get her first hit.
Yeah, Jen Cummings, her favorite memory is also beating Clemson. It was interesting, you know, because some of these athletes, they're transfers, but their favorite memory is beating an in-state rival, South Carolina in-state rival. So it just speaks to the rivalry of South Carolina and Clemson.
You never had that opportunity, right?
Didn't.
Because Clemson didn't have a softball program
I
back
had to
then.
hate other teams.
1-1 to Cummings. This is outside. Leno will take second. Late throw there, and Leno swipes the bag. Now 2 in scoring position. Still a pretty good throw. And Leno gets her 4th stolen base. Blampede got her 5th earlier and then moved to 3rd on the throwing error. And are they going to see if she left early? And might have our first review of the day here. That's been a common theme in softball this year.
And this, I cannot wait to see the statistics on which call was reviewed the most.
At the runner left early.
All right, so we'll see what happens there. As it stands right now, Gamecocks have them at second and third with one out. She may have.
Yeah, may have. This is going to be close. So this review is going to go to the Birmingham office and the SEC office in Birmingham, where a crew of umpires are going to look for indisputable evidence.
And for a team that struggled to put runs on the board, this is not what South Carolina would need right now, looking for a big first inning.
I think that's a good use of that review, though.
Absolutely.
After further review, the ruling on the field has been changed. The runner is out. The new count is 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll be playing with 2 outs.
And so that's a big second out. A good challenge by Missouri head coach Larissa Anderson. And for South Carolina, again, struggling to score runs. And that's a big second out.
Yeah, again, a smart use of the review. So there must have been indisputable evidence.
Yep, a ball and a strike on Cummings. Looked like the right call in the one replay we saw.
And that's so hard. I mean, I know the umpires, too, they like having replay because they want to get it right.
Yep.
And for calls like that where it's so close, I mean, those umpires are looking at no less than, depending on what base they're at, they're looking at no less than 5 things at a time.
Yep.
And it goes up to like 10 or 11, again, depending on the position.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Cummings as Krings tries to work out of an early jam. Strike 3 called, inning over. The Gamecocks get 2 runners aboard. They get nothing out of it. So, yeah, Hay created that after the collision there for Daly. Hay at the plate here, the freshman. Takes ball 1 down the middle.
You were so subtle about that.
Well.
We don't argue balls and strikes.
Ball and a strike now.
She says to herself. Yeah. Abby Hay is one that Coach Anderson talks about being one of the funniest on the team. Coach Anderson really loves this team. They're a good group. She said Hay is the type, obviously, to do things like leave an outline of when the coach fell. But one time she got a hit and she made it all the way to third, and she kind of leaned into Coach and said, "Coach, are you surprised to see me here?"
Freshman's had a good year. 0 for 4 at the plate in the series, but has drawn 3 walks, so has gotten on base, hitting in the cleanup spot each day. And a strikeout here for Jory Hurd, her second of the game, and the first out here in the second inning.
Jory Hurd is doing a nice job of commanding her pitches, going right at the hitters. I think that's going to be something that we see for her growing into her own. I mean, she's just a sophomore. She's had a lot of improvement from freshman year.
There's Katie Chester. She's the DP today. First time she's been in the starting lineup, although she was a pinch hitter in each of the first 2 games. She's a sophomore out of Liberty, Missouri. And she's had a good series coming off the bench there. You see 2 for 3 with a couple of singles and 2 runs batted in. So some clutch hitting earns the start here today. A healthy cut came up empty.
It's the beauty of a rise ball, Brad. Looks super good, then it's not. Yeah, I've been really impressed with Chester this weekend with her coming off the bench and having clutch appearances. That's not easy to do. You have to stay in a mindset. You have to be okay in that role.
Soft line drive, diving catch made by Brooke Blankenship. And there's the second out of the inning. Nice play by Blankenship, a little dying quail, if you will, in the infield, but hung up enough that she could dive and make the play.
Yeah, that's awesome. And as a pitcher, seeing your defense lay out like that, I mean, that was only the 3rd pitch in the at-bat, so that speaks to how efficient Hurd is being as well.
Stefania Abrascato steps in. She's the left fielder today. Was the DP in the first couple of games of the series. She's a freshman, New York native. See her numbers on the year, and a very productive season, series, I should say, for her. 3 for 5 with a run batted in, was also hit by a pitch. 1-1 from Hurd, taken for a strike.
That's what I was talking about with Jory Hurd. She is not afraid to go inside. That can be a struggle sometime for pitchers. I mean, because you're afraid to hit the batter, or sometimes that's where the hitter's power zone is, and so you've really got to jam it in.
Gets another strikeout here, her third of the game, second. She was, again, another one of the 8 seniors honored today. This is her lone season at South Carolina. Ropes the first one foul from Lauren Krings. Jones started her career at Minnesota and spent 2 years at North Carolina before coming here to South Carolina. See her numbers and what she's done in the series.
And Kiana actually had a really cool response when I asked her, what's your favorite memory? She said, and I got chills when she said this, her first weekend just being at South Carolina on the field, putting the jersey on for the first time because she felt like she could really be who she wanted to be.
Pops this one up left side. Shortstop Laird is there, one away. So quickly one down in the Gamecocks second. And brings up the DP, Anaya Black, another one who was honored today. So we're going to go, it's just about everybody. When you got 8 seniors, you know, and most of them are in the starting lineup. Means Coach Bev Smith's going to have a big recruiting class next year.
Yeah, I already mentioned Anaya. Her favorite memory was the SEC tournament last year, but what she wants to be remembered for is just being a leader, someone that her teammates could talk to.
Gets ahead here, her third hit of the series. She's now 3 for 8. And it's the second hit of the game for the Gamecocks.
And from game 1 to yesterday even, and just what we saw from her, Anaya has made wonderful adjustments. First game of this series, Krings had her number. Low outside, whether it was drop ball or changeup. And then yesterday you saw Black make an adjustment. She had some good at-bats, and then here she's jumping all over Krings.
She's at first base now. Might get a pinch runner for her. Bree Warren will be at the plate, another transfer in her first season here in Columbia from Texas A&M. And we will have the pinch runner at first base, Reagan Marchant, the redshirt freshman from Hilton Head, South Carolina, will run for Black. So here's Warren, 2 for 4 in the series with a double. He's also walked once and has been hit by a pitch, so she's been getting on base, hitting in the 7 spot. Out in front of that pitch.
Nice pitch.
Krings does a nice job of changing speeds. We saw her in game 1, 5 shutout innings.
And we also talked about Coach Anderson thinks that when her changeup is on, that's going to be the key to set up the rest of her pitches. We can't forget Krings is a senior also, and so I asked her, what's your favorite memory? She said when Missouri hosted Super Regionals her freshman year and seeing her mom in the stands, her mother getting to see her play on the big stage like that, and she wants to be remembered for keeping the game fun.
Takes a strike on the inside corner here. A lot of pomp and circumstance on senior day everywhere. You see the numbers painted in the outfield grass at a lot of places. They do that here, and the framed jerseys that they present each player before the games or something else similar to that. Swung on, hit in the air to center field. Alex Hanold back to the warning track, makes the grab, and Marchant is going to tag and go to second on the play. Deep fly ball, but not far enough. They did get the runner into scoring position. Another runner in scoring position. See if the Gamecocks can get a run across. They had 2 runners on last inning and unable to do anything with it. Julia Desiderio, the catcher, to the plate. Looking for her first hit of the series. 2 outs in the inning. And with all the celebrations that go on, they didn't quite have did they have as much of that when you were playing? Was it a big deal senior day, or was it just another game?
How do I answer this?
Or did you even care?
we did the jersey recognition and that kind of thing, and then it was kind of like, for me, all right, let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Yeah. So there weren't a
Game
lot
time.
of pregame interviews with.
I don't remember any pregame interviews.
Yeah.
Not to say there weren't any, because now I'm old and I can't remember yesterday, but.
That's off the third baseman, Daly, but picked up by the shortstop. Laird throws her out at first, and the inning is over. What a play. And the Gamecocks come up empty. But Bettenbaugh, who'd been injured most of the year, makes just her 4th appearance of the season. First pitch to the catcher, Crenshaw's bunted foul up the line.
Bailey is another one of a favorite memory of last year's tournament run and going into the postseason. And she wants to be remembered as a teammate that her teammates could depend on during the hard times, both as a player and as a person. Fun fact, Bailey Bettenbaugh used to barrel race in high school. Let me tell you something. Those barrel racers, they're a little wild.
For those that don't know, that means on a horse.
Yes, yes.
She wasn't running around barrels herself. Yes.
Right, on a horse, barrel racing, just to clarify.
Crenshaw pops this one up into short left field. Long run, but Bree Warren is there, and that's the first out. So Bettenbaugh, as we said, had been injured most of the season, making just her 4th appearance and only pitched 7 innings coming into the day. Gets the first out. Don't know if this was pre-planned or if something was up with her. She was obviously did well in the first 2 innings, retired all 6 batters she faced with 3 strikeouts. She could still come back in, obviously. Kara Daly, the third baseman, stands in. The junior takes strike 1.
When you have to remember, this is Bettenbaugh's senior day also.
Yep.
And she's a nice change of pace. She's going to throw kind of in that high 50s, low 60s, and she spins the ball really well. You can see normally that was a changeup. She normally has a pretty good changeup, so she bad example there, but she is going to throw a changeup. She'll mix rise, screw, curve.
Daly, the junior at the plate, 2 for 5 with a couple of runs batted in this weekend. Pops this one up right side. Denver Bryant, the second baseman, calls and catches, and quickly 2 away in the Missouri third. Two outs, bases clear for the right fielder, Kaylee Langer. Langer, a sophomore. One for 4 in the series. Has been hit by a pitch twice. Has also stolen a base. Good hitter in the 9 spot, hitting at 283. Misses high, and Bettenbaugh falls behind here. There's the strike. Always interesting when you go down to meet student athletes for the first time. Some of them maybe haven't been interviewed often, so they're not chatty, but it's always fun to get with the ones that will just chat about anything. Mm-hmm. I know with you, you'd be up there like, yeah, this one time at band camp, and just,
I don't think I've ever said that in my life.
Gamecock faithful wanted a strike there, but didn't get it. 3-1 now. Tigers looking for their first base runner today. And they'll get it here.
See, Bailey was really going for that inside corner there, and it was a good-looking pitch. That was a nice hold by Langer.
Yeah, same location the last 2 pitches, and Coach Bev Smith going to make the change, and that's going to be it for Bettenbaugh. Jory Hurd's going to come back in, so that may have been, as you said, a nod to the senior who had been injured most of the year and gave her an opportunities to play after college. There are some professional leagues, and obviously if you play on your national team here or there, but perhaps obviously not as many opportunities to make a living playing softball as you do in other sports.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. There's been some efforts with the pro leagues. Now there's AU Pro Sports, I believe it's called, and there's just the pro league has not been able to get up and going for women's softball, and I really wish that it would.
Jenna Laird at the plate, the shortstop, as they go back to the top of the order. 0 for 1 lined out to the pitcher, Jory Hurd, back in the first inning. See her numbers on the year. And Hurd way ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Laird, second team All-SEC last year. Former SEC Freshman of the Year back in 2021. He's the second leading hitter for the Tigers coming in. One hopper off the glove of Bryant. They won't have a play. That in-between hop, and she couldn't backhand it, and the Tigers have something brewing here with 2 outs. Another look at it here. Kind of handcuffed her and couldn't come up with it cleanly.
Yeah, it was in a weird position where, do you try to backhand it or do you keep your glove the way she had it turned?
Brings up Alex Hunold, the center fielder, who grounded out to Bryant at second in the first inning. Hunold, the leading hitter for the Tigers, came into the game 10th in the SEC in batting average. Just past a diving Zoe Leno. It's a foul ball.
Yeah, Hunold's favorite memory from Mizzou is playing in the SEC tournament her sophomore year when they beat Tennessee and moved to the championship game. A lot of favorite memories, yeah. A lot of favorite memories revolving around postseason for sure.
0-2 pitch. We'll have another one.
Just kind of shows you how fun that can be. And kind of along those lines, Laird, her favorite memory is hosting Supers her freshman year. She had a really cool kind of add on to that. She had a dream to play in front of a huge fan base, and so her freshman year, when it happened, she stood out at shortstop and remembers doing a 360 and was just in awe.
Taking it all in.
Yeah.
That's neat. An old second-team All-America last year. Also second-team All-SEC a year ago. Skies this one down the left field line. Bree Warren comes over, makes the grab in foul territory, and that'll end the threat here in the third inning. The Tigers get 2 on. They can't do anything with it. First Game 3 victory. Gamecocks trying to avoid all of that. 9-1-2 to up for South Carolina against Lauren Krings, who's allowed just 2 hits, has struck out 2. Shortstop Brooke Blankenship stands in. Junior takes ball 1 high. Cummings has started each of the games, did not hit for herself yesterday. 0 for 2 in the series.
You're kind of talking about the seedings. They are something Coach Anderson had mentioned specifically as they head into this postseason, or this series, I guess, is trying to get the highest seeding possible, because then it plays in your favor when you go into the SEC tournament and headed into regionals. And there's been there's been a little bit of chatter about the metrics that are used to determine postseason rankings, who's going to host, those sorts of things. And what Coach Anderson set on a selection committee, or as president in NFCA, there was something there where she knows, okay, look, the woman knows. And she said that the committee really is looking at a body of work, and the RPI rankings are something that have been used in the past, strength of schedule, and there's a whole formula for it. The RPI, the thing is it kind of does a season ranking. It doesn't adjust game to game. But now they're introducing the KPI, which is a new metric, and that takes in a game-by-game ranking, and or assessment of sorts. But the problem is that right now the difference between the RPI and the KPI, there is a lot of difference. And so there was some concern that the KPI would be used, but she said she received confirmation that the KPI would just be used as it would be there, and it's something the committee could look at if they wanted to.
Strikeout for Brooke Blankenship, as she thought she had drawn ball 4 twice and then waved and missed at strike 3. Third strikeout for Lauren Krings, first out here in the 3rd inning. Her first strikeout swinging. Back to the top of the order now for the second baseman, Denver Bryant, who looked at strike 3 in the 1st inning.
And that was Krings' changeup. She goes right back at it, 2 in a row. This is what Coach Anderson was talking about with Krings. That if her changeup is effective, it's going to help set up her other pitches. I think that's the case for all pitchers. If you have a good changeup, it really helps set up your other pitches.
Bryant hitting at 286 now, 1 for 7 in the series. Missouri has had a lot of success as of late against the Gamecocks. Won 8 straight against South Carolina and 10 of the last 11, looking for their 3rd straight sweep over South Carolina. And Krings working ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. Hit in the air to right field. Langer comes in, makes the grab, and there's 2 away. Krings just cruising along here. Bases empty, 2 outs for the center fielder, Riley Blampede. Blampede singled, stole second, and then reached third on the throwing error back in the 1st inning, but was left stranded at third base. That was with 1 out. Blampede with 3 hits in the series. 1 in each game so far. Both teams have had to try to manufacture runs here. We told you in the open it's been a struggle for the Gamecocks. They're now 1 for 15, I believe, or 1 for 16 with runners in scoring position in this series. Have a couple of doubles, but no long balls. Actually, neither of these teams have left the yard in this series, and that's not unusual, as these 2 teams ranked 12th and 13th, respectively, in home runs. So they've had to manufacture their runs a little bit differently than others this year. Slow roller to third. Daly is there, picks it up, and gets Blampede by a step for out number 3. Gamecocks retired in order for the first time today. We've completed 3 innings here in the capital city. We're still scoreless.
She says that her favorite memory was breaking the attendance record, and she thinks it was versus LSU when they did that. Missouri's done a really good job this season of increasing attendance. Coach Anderson talked a little bit about that and some of the strategies their marketing team is using, which all sound great, and that was a favorite memory. She wants to be remembered as a great teammate and just a general good person.
Ball and a strike now to Gallagher. She's 0 for 1, a strikeout victim to end the 1st inning. And we know it helps attendance too, winning. And the Tigers have done a lot more of that this year.
That'll do it.
Looking for their 40th win of the season if they can pull it out today.
And that's something Coach Anderson kind of talked about, where they sold out their season tickets, and they did it kind of early. I think they're marketing a little bit earlier. And so it kind of helps the fan base think, oh, this is the hot ticket. We need to go see them. And so it builds that excitement around the program. The other thing she mentioned, which I thought was just wonderful, is travel teams, the youth travel teams will call and want to come see their games. And so it made me wonder just how much marketing could go to if your travel team comes, we're going to do some special stuff. to get them involved. Does
Yep.
that make sense? So really and they're scheduling these travel tournaments, are actually scheduling games and tournaments around their schedule so they can come see them.
That's pretty cool. Leadoff walk to Gallagher. Her first walk for Jory Hurd, and the first time the Tigers have had the leadoff aboard. Brings up the first baseman, Abby Hay, squares the bunt, pushes it foul behind the plate. Hay, a strikeout victim to lead off the second inning. Only the second base runner that Hurd has allowed, as one reached on an error last inning. You see Hay's numbers on the year. The freshman has been fantastic in her rookie year. Runner is going, throw down to second, and they got her. Maddie Gallagher caught stealing another excellent throw from Julia Desiderio.
And Desiderio's had good throws all weekend. This time, it all worked together with the middle infield. Look at that. Didn't even have to move. That throw was spot on. In that situation, the catcher's having to throw to a spot, not a person. So you're having to really think about visualization right there.
First time Gallagher's been caught stealing all season. She was 9 for 9 prior to that. Yeah, yesterday it was tough luck for Desiderio. I think the Tigers stole 3 bases, and all 3 throws from Desiderio were on the money, but the middle infielders were unable to handle the throws, and all were safe at second base.
But I think that, of the ones we've seen her throw this weekend, that one was the best.
Yes.
I mean, there was nothing wrong. It was textbook. That was a clinic of how to throw to a spot.
2-2, the count on Hay now with one out and the bases empty. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Second time she struck out against Hurd today, and the 4th strikeout for the sophomore.
This is what you like to see from your defense. Walk, then you pick your pitcher up by throwing the runner out, and then the pitcher comes back with a big strikeout. Good response.
2 outs, bases empty for the DP, Katie Chester, who had a soft line drive that was caught by a diving Brooke Blankenship at shortstop back in the second inning. Takes strike 1 here. Like I told you, Chester getting the first start of the weekend after coming off the bench in each of the first 2 games, but had a couple of hits and a couple of RBIs, so said, we got to start her. Chester, a sophomore out of Liberty, Missouri. Fouled off right side. That'll get out of play. Final day of the regular season before the SEC tournament begins on Tuesday. That'll run Tuesday through next Saturday. Single elimination. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 4th. 5 strikeouts for Jory. The 3 spot, the third baseman walked in the first inning, but was ruled out after she swiped second base but left the bag early.
And just to kind of go back to those dates for a hot second, we were kind of in disbelief that Missouri bussed here.
Yeah.
That's a really long bus drive. But what they're doing, I think they're staying overnight tonight in Columbia and going to bus straight to Auburn for the SEC tournament.
Yeah, which makes sense. School is out now. I know here they had graduation this weekend, so you don't have to return to campus. You don't have to go to class, so it makes sense. Much shorter drive, only a couple hours to Auburn from here, from Columbia, South Carolina. Just a few hours, maybe 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, and you don't have the travel time limit, drop dead time, that kind of thing doesn't go into effect because they're not flying. You have flexibility. This is the time of year. It was so exciting. And as you have heard, a lot of the favorite memories have been with postseason because this is the time when you feel like you're a pro athlete. This is what you're just doing.
Yeah, you're just playing ball. You're not looking for tutors or classes or anything like
exams.
that. Yep. The pressure is off. You can just play.
Right.
Krings falls behind to Leno here. Krings has been good, has allowed just 2 hits and the 1 walk to Leno back in the first inning. The 2 hits were singles. She struck out 3. There's the strike.
You can see Krings, how much confidence she has in her changeup. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Seems to be a common theme with this pitching staff for Mizzou is the ability to throw the changeup and how important it's been really for almost every pitcher we've seen from them.
And all of them have great changeups. Look at that, another one.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, first out in the fourth strikeout for Lauren Krings today. Battles back after falling behind 3-1.
And Leno is crowding the plate. And Krings does not hesitate to go up in there, find the hole. That's the thing what you're looking for with experienced pitchers that have the confidence to go inside and find the hole, especially when you have hitters that are crowding the plate. You gotta have some finesse, but you have to attack too. If you let up, that's when you're leaving a ball flat, or that's when you're hitting the batter.
First baseman Jen Cummings stands in. She's 0 for 1, looked at strike 3 to end the first inning. Looking for her first hit of the series, 0 for 7. Cummings playing a lot of first base in the second half of the season. Also a catcher, transferred from Washington a couple of years ago and really found a home here. Grounded right side, nabbed by Gallagher. She can't hold on to it, and the Gamecocks get a base runner. It'll be a base hit for Cummings, her first of the series. Great play by Gallagher to make the stop, but then it squirted out of her glove as she tried to get up.
I think that would have been a hard play anyway because Hay was trying to get up herself after she tried to dive, and there was nobody covering first, but that was certainly a nice stop.
Get a pinch runner for Cummings as Kai Ricks will make her first appearance of the series. Ricks is sophomore from Fayetteville, Georgia. Ricks with good speed. Second on the Gamecocks in stolen bases, used primarily as a pinch runner, is 8 out of 10 stealing bases. So we'll see if the Gamecocks get her in motion. Kiana Jones at the plate. She's the right fielder. Popped out to short to lead off the second inning earlier today, so 0 for 1. Good stop by Crenshaw behind the plate. Keep Ricks where she is. Told you Jones, an interesting character. Started her career at Minnesota and a couple years at North Carolina before coming here to South Carolina. It's also the first female coach in the Coastal Plain Baseball League a few years back. Rips this one foul, but just a strike into the Missouri bullpen.
See, you've gotten so much better with that. I feel like the first time that we started working together, you were like, whoa, rip foul. I remember, hey, Brad, bring it down here. It's a strike, just a strike. That's all it is.
10 years
Take
years working with you, I learned a thing or two. Try to keep you happy.
I mean, as a pitcher, it's kind of like, okay, I see, but you don't freak out about it. I used to actually, when hitters would hit hard foul balls down the line, it would make me want to go right back at them with the same pitch. Let's see if you can do it again. Yeah, you got to tighten it up some, but.
It was neat talking to Kiana Jones earlier this year about her experience coaching in the Coastal Plain League, which is a college summer league. And I said, how did the guys treat you? And they said, they treated me like all the other coaches, which is pretty cool.
That is cool. Anytime these athletes can get that coaching experience, now let me preface this, I'm a coach educator in my real life. Anytime they can get that coaching experience, it really helps them see the other side of the game. It helps them with their teaching skills, their relationship skills. You start to realize things like, oh, that's why coach had us do this. And so, teaching somebody to do something always is beneficial.
Memory serves, it was with the Macon Bacon. Grounded left side and with eyes into left field for a base hit. Kiana Jones with a single. And the Gamecocks with back-to-back hits here, having it first and second with just one away.
Jones does a good job. Krings looks like she was trying off speed on that pitch. It was up in the zone.
Her second hit of the series. Brings in Anaya Black, and Coach Bev Smith had to re-enter her. We saw this yesterday. She hands her the little stick to remind her. But
The baton.
Yep, good piece of hitting there, as you said, by Kiana Jones.
And now steps in Black. If I'm South Carolina, I want Black in the box in this situation right now. She's made some great adjustments. She came to play today. This is her senior game.
Yep, she's got 3 hits in the series, including a single through the left side in the second inning.
I would expect Krings went straight inside with a strike last time. I was going to say I expect to see something out of the zone for this first pitch because Black was aggressive on first pitch.
Black hitting .283 on the year in her second season here in Columbia after transferring from Georgia. Up high again. Second time today the Gamecocks have had 2 runners on as Coach Larissa Anderson's going to come talk to Lauren.
Actually, I asked, there's a changeup. I actually talked to Coach Reapold this time and just was, I don't get to talk to her much, and just kind of asked.
So Crash Ripley?
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think's going on? And she just said that she still thinks they're pressing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you have to remember when you're playing non-conference, out of conference, the pitching is a little bit different. That you don't have to make quite as many adjustments. And when you get to conference, these pitchers are good, especially Missouri. Their pitching staff has done a solid job. And so making adjustments can be difficult, and they just have to figure it out. But they're pressing. And I'll tell you, just from a player and a coach's perspective, these athletes know.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going up there trying to not hit, you know. They really want to hit in these situations, and that causes the issue.
Payoff pitch, grounded to Daly, but she boots it at third. Everybody's safe. Ricks almost wandered too far off the bag at third, but able to get back, and the Gamecocks load the bases here on that hot shot to third base.
Just talked about having Black in the box. That's who you want.
One more look at it. This was smashed to third.
And Krings just leaves that changeup up in the zone, out over the heart of the plate. Black gets a good piece on it. That's a hard hit.
A little in-between hop for her, and it'll be an error. Second error by the Tigers today. Loads the bases with 1 out, and it brings up the left fielder Bree Warren, who flied to center back in the second inning. Infield in now in a scoreless game here in the fourth. Gamecocks would love a hit, but they'd settle for a fly ball perhaps to get a run in. Good speed at third with Ricks.
When you just mentioned, the fly ball to get a run in these situations, you don't always have to have a hit. So what are the other things that you can do to get those runs in, like the sacrifice fly?
Now Krings in the driver's seat, way ahead. No balls and 2 strikes to Bree Warren, hitting in the 7 spot. Hit in the air to left field. Albrascato goes back, makes the grab. Ricks will tag and score, and the Gamecocks have their first lead of the series as Bree Warren delivers the sac fly to left.
Right on cue.
For Warren, her 10th RBI of the year. And the Gamecocks make them pay with 1. It's the second out in the inning. Brings up the catcher, Julia Desiderio. Desiderio grounded out to end the second inning. Had a healthy cut, came up empty. Kind of an unusual ground out, if you will. It was a hot shot that was not handled by the third baseman, Kara Daly, but it caromed right to Jenna Laird, the shortstop, and she threw her out at first. Krings trying to minimize the damage here after loading the bases with 1 out. And she's way ahead of Desiderio. No balls and 2 strikes.
Krings going right at Desiderio. She's not playing right now. Trying to get out 2 beautiful change-ups. Hard pitch to throw 2 times in a row. Hits the same spot.
Grounded foul.
think that was a third right there, too.
And when you're way ahead like that, and with this entire staff all weekend throwing changeups as a hitter, you have to be thinking, is she going to throw it again? Is she going to throw it again?
Yeah, and, you know, sometimes when you have a pitcher that throws that many changeups, sometimes you get to where you sit on the changeup and you wait for it. But I think Missouri mixes it so much with other pitches that that would be difficult to do.
Hit down the right field line, curving foul. Good at bat here by Desiderio, spoiling another one.
And the other thing, especially with Krings, she sells the pitch really well. So it's again, making it that much harder to see.
Another 0-2 to Julia Desiderio from Lauren Krings. And another foul ball.
That's at least 3, maybe 4 changeups out of the 5 pitches that Desiderio has seen. So she's doing a really good job just getting a piece of the bat on that to just get it out, sit on, get something, a better pitch to hit.
Up high, just threw her something different. Two on with 2 out, a run in here in the 4th. Checks her swing. That was hard to hold up on.
That was a great pitch, but that was a good hold.
Yep. You know, for Krings, as you said, it was a great pitch. I'm not sure how Desiderio laid off.
Well, she's seen so many of them.
True.
Now she's starting to see it better.
One hopper to short. Laird is there across the.
She's been efficient. If you're South Carolina and Jory Hurd, you're just looking to keep doing your thing. Stay in your lane, stay in your zone, keep attacking the hitters, doing what's working.
Stefania Abrascato will lead things off. She's the left fielder today. A strikeout victim to end the 2nd inning. Takes ball 1 here. See what she's done. She came out for 2/3 of an inning as the Gamecocks basically gave a curtain call to senior Bailey Bettenbaugh, who got 2 outs, and they brought Jory Hurd back in to re-enter, if you will. But Hurd started and came back in. See the numbers on Abrascato. Hurd with 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks, including 1 last inning that was erased on a caught stealing. Over but low, runs a full count. Tight game, as you might expect, after every pitch. Fans from both teams trying to help out Matt Dial behind the plate.
I know he is so appreciative of that.
Squibbed up the first baseline, and fortunately for South Carolina, it's a foul ball as Jen Cummings maybe took her eye off it and it went between the wickets. Thought she was going to pick it up before it went foul and just step on the bag. But maybe it hopped on the bag, and that's why it went through her legs.
Maybe.
Abrascato still alive here. Up high, 3rd walk allowed by Hurd today in the 2nd straight inning that the Tigers have started the frame with a free pass. Last time it resulted in a caught stealing. We'll see what they do here.
It looks like Hurd is going to her changeup more. She's trying to. I mean, this is only the 2nd time that these hitters she's facing right now have seen her. And so it's almost like I feel like she's trying to mix it up a little too soon with the changeup. Mm-hmm. For me, she was effective doing what she was doing, mixing the changeup here and there. So go right at them.
Claire Cahalan will be the pinch runner at first base. She's a freshman, makes her 2nd appearance of the series. 3 out of 4 stealing bases. And Julia Crenshaw at the plate. The catcher is 0 for 1. A fly to left last trip. Squares and pulls back.
But this is the first time that Crenshaw has faced Hurd, though. Remember, Bailey Bittenbaugh had come in, and that's who Crenshaw faced.
Well, this
in
is
her
who you
first
want,
at-bat.
at the plate. If you're Missouri, if you are going to bunt, Crenshaw leads the Tigers with 6 sacrifice hits on the year. Not squaring here, and fouls it straight back. Tigers have done a good job playing some station-to-station softball this year. They're 3rd in the SEC in sacrifices.
Well, and I think that comes to, if you're not a home run hitting team, which Coach Anderson has said they're not, you have to hit station to station and talk about that. Something else that she mentioned before this game, and there it goes. Bunt, small ball.
Yep, gets the sacrifice down, her 7th of the year, and puts the tying run into scoring position now with just 1 away. So Crenshaw does her job.
We're in positions where you're looking for like a Crenshaw to come in and do something when she gets in.
Kara Daly stands in, blasts this one to left field, and it's out of here. And the Tigers take their first lead of the day on their first hit of the day. It's a 2-run home run from Kara Daly. Daly with her 7th home run of the year.
How about the bottom of Missouri's lineup? That's a changeup, it looks. Low in the zone, but sneaks back over the plate, right down the meat where Daly likes it.
Daly's had a good series. Her 3rd hit gives her 4 RBIs. Hurd gives up her first hit, and unfortunately for South Carolina, it relinquishes the lead. She pitched very well by the sophomore. She'll give way to the grad student Elena Vaughter, making her 2nd appearance of the series.
Yeah, Vaughter, she's going to be a different look. She's going to be high 60s, hitting 70 consistently, mixed low in the zone. Drop ball, curveball, does have a changeup. She will come up with a rise ball just to kind of give a different look.
First batter she faces is the 9-hole hitter Kaylee Langer, who walked in the 3rd inning. Vaughter was the losing pitcher yesterday. Went the distance, 7 innings, gave up 3 earned runs on 8 hits, struck out 2, but walked 3.
Yeah, I think yesterday Vaughter had for her,
right.
a rougher outing. And it started in that 1st inning, and I've been thinking about it. I really think that Missouri scouted Vaughter and spent the most time preparing for Vaughter because they came at her hard in the 1st inning, and I think that just kind of shook her up a little bit.
Yep, a lot of base hits through the infield. Ground balls with eyes at times kind of roughed her up early, and the Gamecocks unable to recover. Again, didn't give up a lot, just 3 earned runs, but it was enough in the 4-2 victory. Now the Tigers have the lead on Kara Daly's 7th home run of the year after the leadoff walk. Tigers still batting with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th after the Gamecocks got a run last half inning. Just got a piece of it to stay alive.
I tell you, I've spoken to Vaughter a couple times this season, and I really like talking to her.
Yeah.
There are certain athletes that when you talk to them, it just hits different, and Vaughter is one of those.
There's a maturity there when you speak to her as well. Yep.
She's very kind. It was interesting, too, because that came out in her response. Like, she said she wants to be remembered as giving all, but here she said, I want to be remembered as helping people feel better. And so that really speaks to the type of person that she is, and she's always been very kind.
The All-American at Stanford, transferred for her final season here. Obviously a huge get for the Gamecocks, talent-wise, but as we talked about earlier in the series, did she go? Yes, she did. Strike 3. It's the 2nd out in the inning, but the mentorship that she provides for the rest of what is a very young pitching staff, and big punch out here for Vaughter.
Yeah, look at the placement of this pitch. Vaughter going low in the zone, in. That's a tough pitch to hit.
The 2 outs, back to the top of the order for Jenna Laird. Laird 0 for 2, reached in her last trip on a fielding error. Also lined out to the pitcher, the starting pitcher, Jory Hurd, to start the game. Laird, second leading hitter for these Tigers. Water falls behind here. Change of pace in there for a strike. Finishing the thought on Jory Hurd. We obviously were dancing around it because of, well, you know, that she had a no-hitter up to this point. She did have a no-hitter earlier this year.
She actually threw a perfect game, didn't she?
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, against Bethune-Cookman. And had a no-hitter going here until it was broken up after a walk and a 2-run home run by Kara Daly.
Well, and credit to Missouri hitters because all of that came on their first time seeing Hurd. They faced Bettenbaugh the first time around.
Count is full now to Laird. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 5th. Tigers playing with the lead for the first time today after the Gamecocks got their first lead of the series just a few moments ago. Payoff pitch. Waters got it and will throw her out at first, and that'll to their bullpen as well. Lily Witten, the sophomore, makes her first appearance of the series. And Witten, 10th appearance overall, 5-0, 5th in the SEC with a 1.24 earned run average. Good strikeout to walk ratio, 27 strikeouts against just 9 walks in 28 1/3 innings pitched. Nine, 1, and 2 due up for the Gamecocks as the shortstop Brooke Blankenship takes strike one, and we're underway here in the 5th. Blankenship, a strikeout victim to start the 3rd inning. Here's the numbers on Witten. Comebacker, and Witten fielding her position, gets the out.
Witten is going to throw a lot of strikes. You can tell by her numbers she's going to be in and around the zone. So for South Carolina, they should see a lot of good pitches to hit.
Back to the top of the order for the second baseman, Denver Bryant, 0 for 2 today. Strikeout and a fly out. Closing the book on Lauren Krings, the starting pitcher. 4 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, had 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. Obviously pitched very well.
You know, and technically we could see Krings again, but with the depth of Missouri's bullpen, I would be surprised. I would expect if
they have the true setup and the true closer.
Right.
We've already seen McCann twice, and then we saw the closer Pinnell yesterday, who leads the nation now with 12 saves. Another one, this time off the glove of Witten, scooped up by Gallagher, can't make the play. Denver Bryant will leg it out for an infield single. Pretty good play by Gallagher, who had to use that whip throwing motion of hers to make it close.
It looked like it was deflected by Witten. Yeah, and if Gallagher had come up, now her momentum was carrying her forward, and so she had to make a sidearm throw like that. But if she had come up and tried to go a traditional overhand throw, it would have been a lot easier to see the safe play. That made it close.
So the Gamecocks get a runner aboard with 1 out for the center fielder Riley Blampede, who's 1 for 2. A single up the middle back in the 1st inning, was left stranded at 3rd. And that one gloved nicely by Daly, but they can't make the play. And the Gamecocks will be at the corners. 3rd error of the day by Missouri, and that could have been 2 at the very least. They could have gotten the leading lady. It's a fielder's choice and a throwing error, or perhaps the error on the second baseman making the catch. Either way, Gamecocks are at the corners.
And South Carolina's doing a good job putting the bat on the ball versus Witten, and you're right. I mean, this could have been a double play, but this is the beauty of actually making contact, making the defense work. This is what can happen, and for Missouri, this is what Coach Anderson has been just kind of harping on, is in the third.
Nips the top of the plate, and they try to get the runner in a rundown at first. And they'll just look Denver Bryant back to third. Pretty well done there. As the runner at first, Blampede, tried to get in a rundown to get that runner home from third, but the Tigers weren't biting.
Well, I mean, Denver was closer to home than she was third. I really thought she was going to go. That was a nice job by Missouri's defense.
For South Carolina, we already saw this earlier. This is where you got to be careful about leaving early. Gamecocks got tagged for that in the first inning that, potentially could have been a big inning for the Gamecocks. It would have been second and third with one out.
And we've seen that a lot this season, actually, where runners have scored and then there's been a review on if a runner left early and the run has been taken away. So absolutely be careful here.
Witten way ahead of Leno here. No balls and 2 strikes. Soft line drive caught by Laird at short, and that's a big second out. Takes away the sac fly possibility. Gamecocks are going to need a 2-out hit or something crazy to get the tying run across. Jen Cummings to the plate, the first baseman, 1 for 2 today. A single in her last trip in the 4th inning. Her pinch runner, Kai Ricks, came around to score. The Gamecocks' lone run also looked at strike 3 in the 1st inning. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And Witten way ahead here. Gamecocks with just 1 hit with a runner in scoring position all weekend long. Lays off, trying to get the runner hung up, and now they've got her caught between third and home. The play at the plate, and she is out. And the Gamecocks.
They're going to review that.
Yep, they're going to review the obstruction there. Coach Epstein, the assistant coach, Jake Epstein, has been thrown out. He came out of the dugout to argue the call, and the assistant coach cannot leave the dugout.
Yeah, assistant coach actually cannot talk to the umpires at all.
And he was thrown out immediately by Matt Dial. Bev Smith was out of the dugout too to argue there was obstruction there. By the way, Coach Epstein has some ties to Missouri. He was a former He reviewed. And here's the play. They got the runner caught up, Denver Bryant, between third and home.
My understanding is that the catcher has to be on the front edge of the plate. See how her leg is blocking home plate? I absolutely think that should be reviewed based off of the other obstruction calls that we've seen.
And they're going to keep the Missouri defense on the field while they review this.
So once the catcher has possession of the ball, the defensive player, or once there's possession of the ball, the defensive player can be positioned between the runner and the baseline.
After further review, the call of obstruction at the plate is upheld and will have a runner at second.
All right,
I
so
think
the
that was
call
a
is
good
upheld.
call.
Yep.
Good call.
It's going to be hard to overturn it since the officials did call obstruction. Infield back, Blampede at second base. One-two to Cummings. Grounded left side. Laird's got it across the diamond in time, and that'll end the inning. But the Gamecocks get the tying run as Bryant takes home, and we're all square at 2 as we head to the 6th here in Columbia. We head to the 6th inning on a warm day here in the capital city of Columbia, South Carolina. Some late scoring in this one, and we're tied at 2. The third game of this 3-game series, final day of the regular season before the SEC tournament. Tigers won the first 2 games of this series, 2-0 and 4-2. Got a good one going here today. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Tigers in their half of the 6th against Elena Vaughter in her second inning of relief work. Alex Hunold will lead things off, the center fielder, 0 for 2 today. This is her first at-bat against Vaughter. She grounded out and fouled out against Jory Hurd. Vaughter falls behind 2-0 here to start. And with Missouri's ability to play station to station, the last thing the Gamecocks want to do is walk the lead off again. They've done that the last 2 innings. Last time it came back to bite them.
Yeah, and especially coming off a big inning like that, you know, a coach gets tossed, you win an obstruction call and get a run. South Carolina's defense really needs to go hard at Missouri right now. Don't allow them back. Don't open that door. Set the tone here.
Just missed inside. There's a strike, runs a full count. It's interesting now sometimes when you see a pitcher maybe that didn't like the call, and sometimes they like to take that breath, take a walk around the circle. Got to take a quicker walk these days with the pitch clock.
Yeah, it definitely changes your rhythm, changes what you can do. You know, before the pitch clock, like when actually I've been told that my generation, my class was one of the reasons they needed to add some time restrictions.
You were the human rain delay out there?
Well, because what would happen, wasn't just me, but what would happen is the pitcher would play cat and mouse with the batter, and it just strung things out.
Payoff pitch, popped up, short center field. Denver Bryant goes back, and it's the second baseman making the grab for out number 1.
It was a nice battle back by Vaughter, getting behind 3-1, then coming back to win that out.
Here's Maddie Gallagher, the second baseman, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. After the walk, she was thrown out trying to swipe second. First time she'd been caught stealing all year. Fast strike taken. Gallagher in the very back of that left-handed hitter's box. You see her numbers on the year. And a terrific senior season. All weekend we were worried about rain here on Sunday, but it's been warm, a little humid, sun, and
yeah, silly us.
Yeah, had some rain overnight, but
turned out to be a beautiful day. Actually, yesterday afternoon turned out to be nice.
Yep.
Today's gorgeous. It is hot, but this is what these teams are going to face when they go to Auburn. You can see the crowd doesn't like that call. I do think it was a little up in the zone.
Nice. 2-1 pitch, yep. Nice comeback there by Vaughter.
Pulled the cover off of that one.
Told you earlier, Missouri looking for their first 3-game sweep, first win on day 3 of an SEC series all year. 2-2 pitch, skied to right field. Kiana Jones, long run, looks up. It is off the top of the wall. That just missed being out of here. And it's a double for Maddie Gallagher. Gallagher collects her 12th double of the year, and this is something the Tigers do well, is hit doubles. That's their 77th of the year, second in the SEC.
Yeah, that ball did just hit the top of the fence and bounced right back in, so hence the double. Good piece of hitting.
Tigers have just 2 hits today. One left the yard, and that one almost did. The home run by Daly last inning. The long double there by Gallagher puts the go-ahead run at second with one out for Abby Hay, the cleanup hitter. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and the freshman had a healthy cut at the first pitch.
Yeah, Hay has struggled so far this game, but this is the first time this game that she's seen Vaughter. Yesterday she saw Vaughter put the ball in play.
She was 0 for 2 against Vaughter yesterday with a couple of walks, however.
Yeah, seeing my pitcher brain's like, well, she walks, so she was, I mean, that's success for her.
Yes.
You know?
Hey, you got on base, right?
That's right, whatever it takes.
Comebacker. Vaughter will go the route to first after looking the runner back. Good play all around there by the graduate student pitcher.
Yeah, I like that. Part of me wanted to yell, get her. She was a little far. I had to stop myself.
Yep. Gallagher had almost wandered too far off, but looked her back enough and then still had time to get the second out. Here's the DP, Katie Chester, 0 for 2, a strikeout and a line out. Good stop by Desiderio there.
It's nice movement. Sometimes you forget about the catchers back there because, I mean, they're just back there grinding, working hard, and then plays like that make you remember.
Especially on a hot day.
Yeah, oh my goodness.
Changed speeds, but out of the zone apparently, 2-0. Ruled a strike as she went around, 2-1. Two-one pitch, strike two. Runner at second with two down. 2-2 pitch, roped foul down the left field line. Two-two game here in the sixth. Game 3 of a 3-game series. Gamecocks trying to rally to take the final game. Missouri looking for the sweep. Full count now to Chester. Payoff pitch from Elena Vaughter. Pops her up, short center field. Bryant goes back, makes the grab, inning over. Tigers get fielder to lead things off. 1 for 2 today. A single in her last trip in the 4th inning. This is her first time facing Lily Witten, who's in her 2nd inning of relief work here. The sophomore delivers up high, and we're underway.
Yeah, when you think about Missouri's bullpen, Coach Anderson has a lot of options.
Yep.
A lot of good arms. One reason that she thinks that her bullpen heading into this postseason are fresh. I mean, yeah, when you have that many pitchers that can eat up some innings here and there.
There's Natalie Touche warming up, one of the pitchers we have not seen yet for Missouri. Marissa McCann is their middle reliever. We've seen twice. Taylor Pinnell closed it out yesterday. Skied, foul territory. Third baseman gives chase, and Daly able to make the grab for out number 1. So Jones is retired. Brings up the designated player, Anaya Black, who's reached twice. She had a single in the second inning, reached on an error in the fourth inning. Over but low for ball one. 2 runs, 2 hits, 3 errors for the Tigers, 2, 5, and 1 for the Gamecocks. They were scoreless until the fourth inning when Bree Warren of South Carolina had a sac fly to drive in a run. Tigers got a 2-run home run from Kara Daly in the top of the fifth to take the lead. It was the first home run by either team in this entire series. Gamecocks answered as Denver Bryant stole home after an obstruction call to tie the score in the bottom of the fifth. Into left field for a base hit. Black with her second hit of the day, and the Gamecocks get a runner aboard with 1 out. She's had a good series.
She really has. We talked about the adjustments she made from the first game, and I mean, she's faced, quick count, probably 4 different Missouri pitchers.
So 4th hit of the series, and that'll bring Coach Larissa Anderson out of the dugout. See if we get a pitching change here, and that's going to do it, I believe, for Lily Witten. So Gamecocks have a runner aboard with 1 out. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back.
Reliever, but with the game tied, I guess you could still count that as middle reliever.
Yep.
She's going to throw a lot of rise. She throws in the mid-60s, a lot of rise, has a really great changeup, and will mix a curve.
She got the save here on Friday in relief, got the win in relief here yesterday. Her 2 appearances against the Gamecocks, 6 1/3 innings, allowed 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, but only 1 walk. She'll start here against Bree Warren, the left fielder, who's 0 for 1. Had a sac fly in her last trip in the 4th inning to start the scoring in today's game. There's a runner at first with 1 out after the single from Anaya Black. On Friday, McCann got the save, went 2 innings, retired all 6 batters she faced. Did not allow a hit, didn't walk anybody. And yesterday, the win in relief, 4 1/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts with 1 walk. And falls behind here, 3-0 to Bree Warren. Big spot here for Warren in her first season with the Gamecocks after transferring from Texas A&M. Takes a strike here.
Coach Anderson talked a lot about how McCann really has bought into that, coming in some sort of relief position, mostly in that middle relief. And that's a mindset you have to take. She had a start. She started McCann a couple games ago.
Belted to center field. It is caught by the center fielder, Hanault. Wow, what a grab.
It was a nice play. Nice piece of hitting and a nice defensive play to save it for Missouri.
She doesn't get that. That's off the wall and a double. Perhaps the go-ahead run scores. Look at this play again. Spun herself around. Gamecocks don't hit a lot of home runs. In fact, they're last in the SEC in home run balls, and almost got one there.
Well, and that speaks to Hanault's awareness of where the fence is. And so as an outfielder, it is your job before the game to figure out how many steps you have and the different positions you're going to play, and be aware. She wasn't scared of the fence. She knew she had some room.
Here's the catcher, Julia Desiderio, 0 for 2 with a couple of groundouts today. Black at first has not stolen a base all year. And she's already been lifted once for a pinch runner, so not being lifted here. And that hits her in the elbow. And the Gamecocks have 2 aboard. The go-ahead run at second with 2 outs. And we'll get a pinch runner now. They'll get the pinch runner for Black at second base. Second time she's been taken out. It'll be Emma Sellers. Sellers, the junior from Lakewood, California, makes her first appearance of the series. So first and second, 2 outs. And a tie game here in the bottom of the 6th. Gamecocks are also going to pinch hit in the 9 spot for Brooke Blankenship, who is 0 for 2. It's going to be Marissa Gonzalez. Gonzalez making her second pinch hit in appearance of the series, 0 for 1. She was a pinch hitter yesterday. Go ahead run at second with 2 outs. Down low, good stop by Crenshaw to keep it in front.
Yeah, so far McCann doesn't look as sharp as she did to me yesterday or even the game before. In her previous appearances, she was right around the zone, quick work.
Had a healthy cut, came up empty there, did Gonzalez. Gamecocks looking for a clutch hit to break this deadlock. McCann back to work. One-two pitch, hit foul. McCann still working well ahead of Gonzalez here. But a good battle here from Marissa Gonzalez, whose nickname is Rabbit. It's something she's been called since she was a kid.
Because she used to hop around everywhere.
Yes. You know all about that with your little ones, right?
Yep. That was a nice get rid of me swing on that changeup.
Hit foul again. Gonzalez, the pinch hitter, 4 doubles as her lone extra base hits this year. 6 runs batted in. Looking for a big hit here to break this 2-2 deadlock in the bottom of the 6th.
I think for Gonzalez, I'd like to see more about just getting on base, getting in position and let top of the order come up and do their thing.
Just got a piece of it. Yeah, you'd like to turn it over.
Keep the pressure on, because South Carolina really needs to get as many as they can.
Good battle here between McCann and Gonzalez. Infield back with 2 outs. Up high.
Hold. That was a nice hold.
You almost felt like McCann had to throw one out of the zone just to see if she would chase since she was so far ahead.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what she did. She'd been around the zone. Gonzalez is fouling things off. So McCann wants to see, can she get her on something way out?
Well, Gonzalez getting her money's worth out of this pinch hit appearance.
It seems like this might have been the most pitches she's thrown in all of her outings.
2-2, we'll have another.
Man, as a pitcher, this is where you're like, oh my gosh,
You would have had enough. And
I know.
You would have just gone ear hole and said, give me the next
Yeah,
one.
Right. Fine. Get on. I'll deal with somebody else.
I'm tired of you.
Yeah. It is a battle, though. It's a challenge every time. McCann's throwing these pitches. Some of them are out of the zone, and Gonzalez is just doing a good job of staying alive.
And still staying alive. It's like she's playing with that kid's bat where the barrel is like 6 inches wide. Just hitting everything.
We laugh, but if you're McCann, you're not laughing.
No.
This is not funny anymore.
Enough already.
So who's going to win? You can see Gonzalez is getting more confidence with every pitch she fouls off.
That one will get out of play as well. I've lost count on how many pitches were on this at bat, but pretty sure it's double digits.
12.
Wow.
I have 12.
Go ahead run at second with 2 outs. Here's the 13th pitch of the at-bat to Marissa Gonzalez. We'll have a 14th.
I mean, McCann still has a ball to play with, so you could just fling it, see what's going to happen.
How about 15? Let's go for 15 pitches. Crowd from both sides really enjoying this battle here. Why not? You love to see it.
I mean, you have to.
Yep.
Make a choice. Are you going to get frustrated, or are you going to go in it and keep battling?
Popped up into center field. Hanolda's there, and that'll end the frame after a long battle between Marissa Gonzalez and Marissa McCann. A wristband or the watch that they bring the pitches in now.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, going from wristbands to the watches and the wireless communication.
Yeah, and the wireless communication is one way, so only the coach can transmit to the catcher, but not vice versa. I love some of this technology that's coming into the game. I love how it's tested in baseball, and then it'll trickle over into softball, just trying to help speed the game up, help the coaches when they're calling. I remember we didn't have all that when I was calling pitches, and so you really had to be strategic with the signs and signals you were given, and they would designate one person just to watch the pitch caller from the dugout, and so you had to get tricky. I mean, you were just exhausted trying to figure out how to throw the other team off from picking your signals.
Strike here, and Border working ahead now. Final day of the regular season before the SEC tournament begins on Tuesday, and we've got a good one with a tie game here in the 7th.
South Carolina has their senior, Elena Vaughter, in the circle for them. This is her game to finish out. I think she already looks better than she did yesterday. We talked a little bit how I personally think she got a little shaken up in the first inning and never was able to recover.
Full count here now. Tigers looking for a base runner. They've gotten the lead off on twice today on walks in the 4th and 5th innings. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Painted the inner third of the plate, and a big strike out there for Elena Vaughter, her 2nd of the day.
That was a great comeback by Elena Vaughter. Curve inside, nails the inside corner. I think Abrascato was set up. She's like, yep, that's ball 4, not so much.
There's Julia Crenshaw, the catcher. 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Had a sacrifice in her last trip. Fly to left in the third inning.
That's the other thing I remember as a pitcher, and even as a pitching coach, when you're calling and you get that strikeout looking and the hitter thinks it's ball 4 and they go to toss their bat. No.
Come back and get it. Well, nowadays you can't really toss your bat because if you throw it away, that when the pitch clock starts as a batter, you got to be in there too.
Yeah.
I saw that in a baseball game yesterday, a college baseball game, where the batter took so long because he threw his bat. By the time he got it and got back, he wasn't back in time and he struck out. It was the third strike. So you better make sure.
That's right. Lesson learned.
Slow roller to short, and Blankenship unable to handle it as it came up and looked like it caught her in the jaw. So Crenshaw is aboard with 1 out, and the Tigers get what they need. There'll be an error on Blankenship. Slow hopper, just kind of rolled up her arm and got her in the face. Fortunately, she's all right, but
That last second hop. This is hard dirt, too.
yep.
Yeah, it got her right in. I bet her lips hurting, too, versus Balder today.
Leno flips to second. They get the out there. Relay to first, not in time. Boy, a snow cone grab there, actually in the heel of the glove at Bryant at second to get that out. Daly safe on the fielder's choice, but a big out there at second base.
Well, and how about Leno to stay with? I mean, the momentum was carrying her towards second base, and she actually fell to her knees and still was able to get the throw off.
One more look at this here. Good play by both infielders here. No chance to turn their 31st double play of the year. Kaylee Langer stands in, the right fielder, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout today. She was the first hitter that Vaughter faced in the 5th inning and struck out swinging. Vaughter would like to end it here because he got the top of the order after this. It falls behind 2-0. Langer, a good 9-hole hitter, though, at 280. There's a strike. Nice change of pace there, yeah.
Love a good change up.
Seen a lot of that from the Missouri pitching staff, and Vaughter can do that too.
And I've really seen her get more command of that pitch throughout the season.
Got her swinging, 2 strikeouts in the inning. Came around to score the tying run. She also struck out and flied out. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1 from McKinn, and we're underway. Down low.
For South Carolina, you know these seniors are thinking, not today.
Right.
Not today. And they want to do everything they can to go out on a high note, especially going into the SEC tournament. But if you're Missouri, you know you've been struggling with winning that Game 3.
Yep, they're 0 for 7 in Game 3 series in SEC play this year. They already picked up a big milestone winning this series, winning the first 2 games. It was their 5th SEC series victory, 5 out of 8, which is really darn good. And it was their first road series win, which, again, tough to do in this league. Gamecocks trying to avoid the sweep and at least have a little bit of momentum going into the SEC tournament. 3-0 to Denver Bryant. The automatic here.
There's a very quick turnaround for the SEC tournament also. So this is the last game of the regular season, and then teams will start they start playing on Tuesday, right?
Yep. Yeah, the one game is, they're on Tuesday. 3-1 pitch, and McCann works it back to a full count after falling behind 3-0. Yeah, Tuesday, the 12 and 13 seeds play, and then day 2 on Wednesday, the day 1 winner, along with seeds 5 through 11. Again, single elimination for the SEC tournament. Payoff pitch to Denver Bryant here to start the bottom of the 7th. Ball 4, and the Gamecocks get the potential winning run aboard. It's the third walk, or second walk, I believe, allowed by their pitching today, Missouri pitching today. They also hit a batter. Brings up Riley Blampede. Gamecock center fielder. We'll see how Carolina plays it. Blampede with just 1 sacrifice hit on the year. We've seen some good bunting by the Tigers in this series, not so much for the Gamecocks. Blampede pulls back. In fact, the Gamecocks bunted into a double play in game 1 on a pop-up. Now Coach Larissa Anderson out of the Missouri dugout to talk to McCann and make sure the infield knows how they want to play everything. Did not allow a run, 1 strikeout, 1 hit. So this is her second appearance of the season. You see her numbers on the year. Excellent strikeout to walk ratio. Shantice Phillips moves into left field now for the Tigers. She was the starting left fielder in the first 2 games.
And just in this game, this is the 4th Missouri pitcher that Blampede has faced. Same with Bryant.
See if she's still sacrificing here. 2-0. She squares, pushed through it for a strike. Throw down to second. Bryant back safely. Yep, Blampede, a single up the middle in the first inning, was left stranded at third. Grounded out to third in the 3rd inning, reached on an error in the 5th. Being asked to sacrifice here, trying to get the potential game-winning run to third base. Again, just 1 sacrifice on the year 4, and she won't get it here. Another one anyway, as she fouls that one straight back.
That's something moving forward Coach Smith wants to see her team start doing, is to get better at the small ball, being able to get those bunts down. I think that's going to add a dimension. It's going to help them, I think, sometimes get this offense rolling.
Good job to keep the at-bat alive there. 2-2. Yeah, and when you don't have a lot of power in your lineup, you've got to find other ways to score. You've got to be able to do these little things exactly in this situation.
Absolutely.
Run the bases, get bunts down. Pennell trying to put out the fire here. Hit in the air, short right center field. Langer comes over, makes the grab, no tag there, and that's the first out in the inning. Brings up the third baseman, Zoe Leno. Leno 0 for 2 with a walk today. Struck out and lined out. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Strike called. Leno really crowds the plate. She tried to spin to get out of the way there, but she is right on top of the plate there.
And Pennell did not hesitate to go inside. Sometimes you need to do that as a pitcher. Somebody's crowding the plate, you need to go hard in, back them up a little bit, let them know you own that corner.
Stayed high, ball and a strike. Bryant at second, led off the inning with a walk, got to second on a wild pitch. Now there's 1 out. 1-1 to Leno, in there for a strike. Talked about the changeups in this Missouri pitching staff, and they have really done a great job with that pitch. Every arm they put out there.
They have, all of them have a really nice changeup. And when you think about how difficult look, there it is again. They're going to throw it on any count.
Yep, second time Leno is struck out today. First strikeout for Pinnell. And the Tigers 1 out away from forcing extras here. 2 outs now with a runner at second after 2 straight are retired. And it brings up the first baseman, Jen Cummings. Cummings 1 for 3 today. A single in her middle trip in the 4th inning. Another lefty-lefty matchup here. Taylor Pinnell trying to shut the door on the Gamecocks here in the 7th. Slow roller right side. Gallagher, gloves, inning over. The Gamecocks get a runner to second with nobody out. They can't convert, and we're going. Larissa Anderson had formerly coached. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Tigers here against Elena Vaughter as we start the 8th inning. Tied at 2. Oh, I'm sorry, top of the order. Yep, yeah. Got to flip my scorebook over. Laird, the leadoff hitter, the shortstop, 0 for 3.
If you're Missouri, this is where you want to be, top of the lineup, starting afresh.
Vaughter, 2 2/3 innings of relief so far, struck out 3.
Vaughter has been through the order, so this is the second time that Laird has seen Vaughter this game.
Sky to left field. Bree Warren makes the grab, out number 1. One out, bases empty for the center fielder, Alex Hunold. The center fielder is 0 for 3 today. Arnold, the leading hitter, 10th in the SEC in hitting coming into the day. Takes a strike here. Tapper back to Vaughter. She's got it. 2 away. Two down, bases clear for the second baseman, Maddie Gallagher. She has one of the 2 hits for the Tigers today. It was a double off the top of the wall on her last trip in the 6th inning. That was against Elena Vaughter. So 1 for 2 with a walk and the double that was nearly a home run. Gets the outside corner there. By the way, South Carolina and Missouri baseball teams wrapped up their 3-game series in Columbia, Missouri today. South Carolina baseball winning that 9-4 to take 2 out of 3 in that series. Ball and 2 strikes now to Gallagher. But unlike softball, baseball still has a couple more weeks left in their regular season.
There's a look at Vaughter's rise. We told you she'd mix that up in the zone just to give the hitter something different to look at. Gallagher has power on the inside corner. She hit, I couldn't tell if it was a fastball or curveball inside last time to the fence, so no surprise. Vaughter's not giving her anything good to look at on the inside.
Doesn't chase that pitch. We were scoreless till the 4th inning. Gamecocks started the scoring on a sac fly from Bree Warren to score the pinch runner Kai Ricks. Tigers got a 2-run home run from third baseman Kara Daly in the 5th inning to take the lead, and Denver Bryant took home on an obstruction call. in the bottom of the frame to tie it at 2, and now we're in the 8th. Still square at 2. Full count now to Maddie Gallagher. Battling back after falling behind on the count. Payoff pitch. Hit down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Gallagher with her second hit. She has 2 of the 3 hits today for the Tigers. And go-ahead run is aboard for Abby Hay.
So this was a change-up, something different, just kind of up in the zone, and Gallagher does a good job. Looked like if it was off the handle of the bat.
Yep.
Just kind of fisted it out there.
Here's Hay, the freshman. 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts, and a one-time facing Vaughter hit it right back to the pitching circle for a ground out. Takes a strike here. Desiderio bluffed to throw to first, but no one was there. Gallagher at first with 2 outs here in the 8th. Fouled straight back, and now Vaughter way ahead, a ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch, strike 3 called. Elena Vaughter paints the outside corner for her 4th strikeout. And the Tigers leave a runner aboard here in the 8th. Nothing doing as we go to the bottom of the 8th, still tied at 2 in Columbia.
Got 2 seniors starting off this inning, with one of them being Anaya Black, who's been hitting well.
Yeah, the Gamecocks have actually out-hit the Tigers in Game 2 and here in Game 3, but have yet to pull out a win, trying to do so here. And Pinnell falls behind. Gamecocks with just 2 extra base hits, though, in those first 2 games. Change of pace, and Jones swings through it, 2-1.
That's what Pinnell is known for. Use of that changeup. It's a little dirty.
Count even now as Pinnell works back, and now she can throw what she wants here. And again, we've talked about it throughout this series. The changeup has been so big for all of these pitchers for Missouri, and Pinnell in particular.
Well, even on South Carolina's side.
Yeah.
You know, with Vaughter and Hurd and Marjeko.
Laced but caught by Abby Hay. Wow. Jones went the other way with it, hit it solid, but Abby Hay with a nice play at first base. She doesn't make that play. Jones is probably standing on second base.
Easy. And this changeup was just up in the zone. Good solid hit. Like you said, Hay was in the right place at the right time.
Going to get a pinch hitter now in the DP spot as Vaughter actually is going to hit for herself, the pitcher. Remember, Onaya Black was already lifted for a pinch runner twice, and when Vaughter entered the game, she normally hits for herself. Vaughter hitting just 179, 5 hits on the year. One's a double, one's a home run. Takes one down low. Vaughter hit for herself yesterday, was 1 for 2 with a sac fly to drive in a run. Was also hit by a pitch. Had a healthy cut and came up empty there.
And I think, had Black been substituted?
Twice, yep.
Yeah, so she's out,
Yep.
which is another reason why you're seeing Vaughter stand in and hit for herself.
1-1. Another diving catch by Kara Daly. Gamecocks have hit the ball sharply here twice. Nothing to show for it. Wow. The corners flashing some leather here for the Tigers.
That was another high changeup by Pennell, making her defense work. That's what your defense is there for, though. Nice plays.
Yep, 2 solid balls off the bat of Jones and Vaughter. Nothing to show for it. Here's Bree Warren, the left fielder. She's flied out 3 times, 1 for a sac fly to start the scoring in the 4th inning. Had a deep fly ball in the 6th inning, her last trip. It was caught near the edge of the fence out there in center field.
And this is her first at-bat versus Pennell, though. So 3rd pitcher that she has faced this game.
Ball and a strike now. 2 outs, bases empty. Tie game here in the 8th. And now Pennell way ahead. One, 2, way out in front, strike 3, and down go the Gamecocks in order here in the 8th inning as Pennell gets her 2nd strikeout. Nothing doing for the Gamecocks here in the 8th. 7 in game 3s in the SEC. Chester sends a fly ball to right field. Second baseman Denver Bryant goes back and makes the grab. 1 pitch and 1 away here in the Missouri 9th as Katie Chester is 0 for 4 with 3 pop outs and a strikeout. Shantice Phillips at the plate now, her first at-bat. She was a defensive replacement a couple of innings ago. She was the starting left fielder the first couple of games, but when each game was lifted later for a pinch hitter and a defensive change. Did not start today. So this is her first at-bat of the day. She is 0 for 1 in the series and was also hit by a pitch. Squares the bunt and pushes through it for a strike. Trying to sneak down a bunt to steal perhaps an infield single. Just joining us, this is the 9th time the Gamecocks have played extra innings this year. Missouri, I believe, with their 2nd. Squares again and takes strike 2. So Vaughter way ahead. Elena Vaughter, the graduate student, came in with 1 out in the 5th inning. Has struck out 4. Oh, 0-2 pitch. Down low, didn't get her to chase.
Right here, 1-5, right here. There it is. Catch.
Did she go? Got a piece of it, yep. Ball and 2 strikes. Scoreless game into the 4th until the Gamecocks got their first run. Mizzou got 2 in the 5th. Gamecocks tied it in the bottom of the frame. And here we are in the 9th, still tied at 2. 1-2 again to Phillips. Fouled off at the plate to stay alive. Tough coming off the bench, even though she was a defensive replacement this late in the game for your first set of swings. Perhaps made a little bit easier that she was into the flow of the game, playing in the outfield the last inning. Another 1-2. Tapper, Vaughter, nice play to reach it and get it. 2 away. That ball was hit slowly. If it gets to the shortstop Blankenship, perhaps Phillips beats it for an infield single, and Vaughter just reached out and pulled it out of the air and able to make a good throw. 2 outs now for the catcher Julia Crenshaw. Crenshaw 0 for 2 with a sacrifice today. Had a sac bunt in the 5th inning. She's also flied to left and reached on an error in the 7th inning. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 9th. Pitch was high apparently. Vaughter questioning where that was. It has been a tight but consistent zone today for home plate umpire Matt Dial. And that's all you can ask. 1-0, hit in the air to center field. Blampede, long way to run. It is off the wall. Crenshaw, wide turnaround first, but she'll have to retreat back to second. First hit, or only the second hit, rather, off of the day for Missouri. But the go-ahead run at first with 2 down for Kara Daly, who's been the hero so far today. She had the 2-run home run in the 5th inning, her 7th of the year. That was what Chase starting pitcher Jory Hurd. It was the first hit that Hurd had allowed after a walk earlier in the inning, but it resulted in 2 runs. Gamecocks playing deep in the outfield right now. And look at that. Elena Vaughter fielding her position well for the second time this inning. Left the infield. Julia Desiderio, the catcher, to lead things off. Hitting in the 8th spot. 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch in her last trip in the 6th inning. Has grounded out twice prior to that. Next one bounces up there. And Pinnell, for one of the few times, falls behind. Taylor Pinnell leads the nation in saves, but pitching for the win with a tie score here. Second in the SEC with an earned run average under 1. Tried the checker swing. Did she go? They appeal to the first base umpire and say no, she didn't. So 3-0. Pinnell normally pitches about an inning or so. Coming into today, she had made 21 appearances and only thrown 21 2/3 innings on the season, so averaging about an inning per outing, and this is her 3rd inning of work, 2nd time through the order. Her 3rd inning of work, I should say. Falls behind 3-0 to Desiderio. Coach Julia Crenshaw had a quick word for her pitcher, trying to settle her down. Strike right down the middle. Desiderio taking all the way. Fans getting antsy on both sides. The 3-1 pitch. Up high, and the Gamecocks get the leadoff aboard for the 2nd time in 3 innings. Remember, they got a leadoff walk in the 7th inning with Denver Bryant, who eventually moved to second on a wild pitch. They had a runner at second with nobody out and didn't get her home. Now you got Desiderio at first with nobody out. And Brooke Blankenship, who had re-entered in there. She's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out today. Was lifted last trip for a pinch hitter. She'll look to square here. Pulls back on a pitch inside. Blankenship has 4 sacrifice hits on the season. That's 2nd on the team. Looking to get one down here with Desiderio at first. Pulls back on a pitch up high, and again, Pinnell falls behind. Gamecocks unsuccessful in a sacrifice attempt, a couple of attempts back in the 7th inning. Now Coach Larissa Anderson out of the dugout to try to settle down Pinnell. Again, this is a longer outing than usual for her. They do have some more warm-up work in the Missouri bullpen. They've already used 4 pitchers. Natalie Touche warming up. We have not seen her yet in this series, but Pinnell's going to stay in there, and she leads the nation with 12 saves, including one yesterday. 2-0 the count on Brooke Blankenship with a potential winning run at first base.
Go now, Brooklyn! You're ahead now, you're ahead.
2-0, squares the bunt, takes a strike, snap throw down to first, not in time, and Coach Abby Hay says they want to review that. I didn't think it was that close when I saw it live, but we'll see if they are indeed going to review it. Actually, the pitch was ruled a ball, I believe. I thought it was a strike. And that would be a mate in there. Couldn't see between the fingertips and the dirt. Takes a strike here. It's 3-1 now to Brooke Blankenship. But Desiderio over there at first. Initially, it looked like she had slid in safely, but a lot of dirt between the fingertips there. Wasn't sure if the fingertips actually touched the bag. 3-1 pitch. Bunted foul, and again, the Gamecocks can't get the bunt down. It's a full count now to Brooke Blankenship. Gamecocks have really struggled with the sacrifice here late in the game.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Payoff pitch. Bunted anyway, and it's a good one. Daly's only plays the first. They get the out. Wow, gutsy call and great execution that time by Blankenship as she gets her 5th sacrifice of the season. And it gets the potential winning run to second base. After a close call at first base, Desiderio was safe getting back to the bag. Back to the top of the order now. Here's Denver Bryant. Bryant 1 for 3, an infield single, a walk, and a run scored. She scored the tying run on an obstruction call in the 5th. Tried to win it here, but came up empty on the change of pace. Gamecocks have struggled with runners in scoring position in this series. They are just 1 for 24 with runners in scoring position in the 3 games, 0 for 10 today. And quickly, Pinnell way ahead of Denver Bryant, no balls and 2 strikes. Gamecocks do not want to go 1 for 25. 1 out here in the bottom of the 9th. Winning run at second, a 1-2 count on Denver Bryant. The pitch from Taylor Pinnell. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got her on 3 pitches. And Bryant down on strikes for the 2nd time today. That is the 3rd strikeout for Taylor Pinnell. And again, it's the changeup. It's been giving the Gamecocks fits. So 2 outs. It's up to Riley Blampede. The senior will stand in, looking to try to win it here. Runner at second with 2 down in the bottom of the 9th. Had a healthy cut, came up empty. Blampede a single way back in the 1st inning, was left stranded at 3rd. Since then, a ground out, reached on a fielder's choice, and a fly to right. Desiderio at second base. The 0-1. 0-2. And now Pinnell can throw whatever she wants. Oh-2 pitch. Got her swinging. And the Gamecocks again leave a runner in scoring position here. We will go to the 10th. Go to their bullpen. Sage Margetko, the freshman, takes to the circle. She was the starting pitcher in Game 1 on Friday. Tough luck loser there in a 2-0 loss. 9-1 and 2 hitters due up for the Tigers. Kaylee Langer, the right fielder, steps in. Margetko picks up Vaughter, who pitched well. Did not allow a run. In her 4.2 innings of work. Ball and a strike here to Langer. Langer 0 for 2. A couple of strikeouts and a walk. Then it's back to the top of the order after that. Margetko, the freshman, has been good this year. As we said, tough luck loser on Friday in Game 1. Went the distance, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, struck out 3, walked 3. That one fouled back. I think it got a piece of the umpire. Ball and 2 strikes. May have gotten Julia Desiderio, the catcher. Again, 9th time the Gamecocks have gone to extra innings here. They're 6-2 in those games. 2nd time for the Tigers. This is the longest game of the year for the Tigers. Their other extra inning game was a 9-inning affair. Gamecocks have gone to 12 and 11 innings. Ruled high. Gamecock fans thought she went around. Not the case, apparently. Again, Matt Dial, the home plate umpire, has been consistent with the zone. It's been tight but consistent. 2-2, fouled straight back. Missouri won the first two games of this series, 2-0 and 4-2. Gamecocks have certainly had their chances in this one. Changeup way high, runs the count full, and that's the last thing the Gamecocks want, is to walk the lead off here and then send Missouri back to the top of the order. Payoff pitch. Popped up behind the plate. That'll get out of play. So we told you the Gamecocks 1 for 26, I believe, now in the series with runners in scoring position. Another payoff pitch. Duke Haley Langer here from Sage Margetco. Up high for ball 4. And a big walk here to start the 10th. So now the Tigers with an opportunity to get a runner into scoring position. Top of the order, Jenna Laird, the shortstop, stands in. 0 for 4 today, reached once on an error. Laird with one sacrifice hit on the year. Gamecocks come in at the corners, and the pitch from Margetco. Swing and a miss. She was not bunting. Tigers third in the SEC in sacrifice hits coming into the day. They had one earlier by the catcher Julia Crenshaw. 0-1 pitch, again not squaring on a pitch up high. Outfield playing deep. See all of them just shy of the warning track out there. One blasted down the right field line, but curving foul. Ball and 2 strikes to Jenna Laird. One-two pitch fouled off of the plate. We'll do it again. Good at bat here from Laird, staying alive. Just missed. Not a bad spot there by Margetco, ahead in the count, trying to paint the outside corner. Not sure how Laird laid off of that one. Two-two pitch, hit in the air to right field. Kiana Jones is there at the warning track, makes the grab, and there's out number 1. Well hit. So 1 out now, runner at first. Alex Hunold steps in, the center fielder. 0 for 4 today. Leading hitter coming in for the Tigers. First pitch up high. See if the Tigers roll the dice with Langer at first. She is 5 for 5 stealing bases this year. Down the left field line, curving foul. Tied at 2 here in the top of the 10th. 1-1 to Hunold from Margetco. Hit into right field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Langer around second. She'll chug into third. As the throw comes in, the outfield was playing deep, and that allowed her to make that wide turn and get to third on the single to right. Take another look. You see Jones playing deep on the warning track, and that made it easy to go first to third. So now the go-ahead run at third base with less than 2 outs. At the corners for Maddie Gallagher. Gallagher's had a productive day. Has 2 of their 5 hits. She struck out in the first, walked in the 4th inning, doubled off the top of the wall in the 6th, and then singled in the 8th inning. So a 2-for-3 day. Gamecocks come in at the corners. First pitch from Margetko. Skied into short center field. Blampede on the run, makes the grab. Runner will try to tag. Now she'll retreat as a great throw comes in from Riley Blampede. Langley would have been dead meat. It's the second out in the inning. And it brings up the clean hitter, the freshman Abby Hay. Hay 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a ground out today. This is her first time facing Margetko. Swing and a miss. She was 0 for 2 against Margetko with a walk in game 1 on Friday. One catches the outside corner, and the runner Hunold will take second uncontested. As the Gamecocks weren't going to dare throw down with a runner at third base and 2 outs here. 0-2 from Margetko. Missed inside. One-two pitch. We'll have another one. Tied at 2 here in the top of the 10th. Tigers threatening with runners at second and third at 2 down. The 1-2 pitch from Sage Margetko to Abby Hay. Outside, didn't chase. Big pitch here because obviously you don't want to put one in the wheelhouse against the cleanup hitter. Two up high, and we've got a full count. First base is open, but you also have a good hitter on deck in Katie Chester. Payoff pitch. Hit in the air to center field. Blampede goes back to the warning track, looks up, it's gone. A 3-run home run by Abby Hay, and the Tigers jump out on top here in the 10th, 5-2. The freshman with her 3rd home run of the year, 2nd home run of the day for the Tigers, a team that doesn't hit a lot of long balls. But Hay got all of that one to the deepest part of the ballpark. Looked like the rise ball stayed high, but she just went and got it. And drove it straight away center field. And the Katie Chester stands in. The DP swings and misses at the first pitch. 0 for 4 today. For Hay, the freshman, that was her 3rd home run of the season. 2nd home run of the day for the Tigers. Margetko way ahead. No balls and 2 strikes here. But the freshman gives up the long ball here. Hits are now even at 6 apiece. 0-2 pitch, and Leno can't backhand it. That's going to It'll be at least a single. Chester's going to dig for second. Here comes the throw, not in time. So Chester has her first hit. They're going to score an error here. Let's see. Yeah, Leno didn't even get the glove down. That's going to go as an error. A two-base error on Zoe Leno. They'll get a pinch runner at second base. It'll be Danielle Blackston. Third time we've seen her, the freshman, as a pinch runner in this series. All this with 2 outs. Shantice Phillips at the plate, 0 for 1, was a late defensive replacement. Grounded back to the pitcher, Elena Vaughter, last inning. Pops this one up behind the plate. That'll reach the seats. Hits her in the helmet, and Phillips hit by the pitch. They're at first and second now, and the wheels coming off for the freshman Sage Margetko here. Been good all season, but having a tough time here coming in the 10th. A fly out, a single, another fly out. Julia Crenshaw at the plate. She singled in her last trip. She's 1 for 3 with a sacrifice. The 8th hitter to come to the plate this inning against Sage Margetko. 2 on with 2 out and 3 in. There's a strike. A 1 pitch, bounces up there. Desiderio keeps it in front. Ball and a strike now. Now time is called. Just missed inside. Margetko trying to close it out without further damage. 2 balls, 1 strike to Crenshaw. Over but low, and it's 3-1. One bad one away from loading them up. Three-one pitch. There's a strike. Runners will be off on the pitch here with 2 outs. The payoff to Crenshaw. Just foul past the bag at third. Three runs in the inning. The 3-run home run by Abby Hay, breaking the 2-2 deadlock. Payoff pitch again, lifted down the left field line, but foul. That would have chased home 2 more. Crenshaw with an extended at-bat here. Payoff again, got her swinging, and that'll end the frame, but not before the damage is done. The Tigers get 3 runs. The 3-run blast from Abby Hay. The Gamecocks here, one of her longest outings of the season. Came in the 7th inning. Has only allowed 1 base runner, a walk to lead off last inning. The Gamecocks unable to take advantage, though, after that leadoff walk. Had a sacrifice and 2 straight strikeouts. Couldn't win it there, and that brought it back to the top of the 10th, and the Tigers made them pay with the 3-run homer. In fact, this is a Missouri team not known for the long ball, 12th in the SEC, next to last in home runs, but all 5 of their runs today have come because of a home run. 2-run shot and a 3-run shot to account for all their runs. South Carolina is last in the SEC, was 1 home run behind Missouri coming into the day. Zoe Leno at the plate, 0 for 3 with a walk and a couple of strikeouts. And Pinnell way ahead here. So told you, South Carolina had some chances. Had a runner at second with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Couldn't score. Got the leadoff walk last inning. Couldn't score. Off the plate there. Gamecocks, I believe at last count, 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position today. And they're going to need a couple of base runners here to try to tie it. Pinnell's 1-2. Lifted into short left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. And the Gamecocks won't go quietly. They get their 7th hit of the day. Leno has her first. And the Gamecocks get a much-needed base runner on the bloop to left. Just reached out and poked that one the opposite way. Here's Jen Cummings, the first baseman. She's 1 for 4 today. A single back in the 4th inning. She's also grounded out twice and struck out. It's her 2nd time facing Pinnell. Another lefty-lefty matchup here. Little pop on the bat for Cummings. Has 4 home runs on the year. The 1-0, down low. A long game 3 of this series today. We've hit 3.5 hours with this one. 2-0 changeup drops in for a strike. That's the bread and butter for Pinnell. Two 2-1 to Cummings, way out in front of that changeup. Evens the count. Just amazing how she's able to use that pitch, not only to get ahead, but to battle back. Not afraid to throw it back to back. Full count here. Gamecocks would love to get another base runner and bring the potential tying run to the plate. Payoff pitch up high. And the Gamecocks making it interesting here. Second walk allowed by Pinnell. And it puts him at first and second. Still nobody out here in the Gamecock 10th. And it brings up Kiana Jones. Kiana Jones, 1 for 4 today, a single back in the 4th inning. Jones with 5 home runs on the year. That's second on the team. Takes a strike here. Jones was robbed of a hit. And a line out to the first baseman back in the 8th inning. The Zoo, even though they've made 3 errors today, both teams have made 3 errors. They've made some good plays as well. 0-1 pitch, way out in front. Pinnell way ahead here. No balls and 2 strikes to the Gamecock right fielder. Leno at second. Cummings at first with nobody out. 0-2 to Kiana Jones. Slow roller left side. Picked up by the pitcher. Throw to first in time, and they get the first out. Moves runners to second and third. Gamecocks trailing 5-2 here. Missouri trying to hold on. Their hitter at the plate is what matters, not so much the runners at second and third, at least right now. And making her first plate appearance of the season, or of the series, I should say, is Carly Shelton, the freshman from Lexington, who's the starting second baseman for a good chunk of the season. And has since been coming off the bench, has not made an appearance in this series. And what a spot for the freshman here. Hitting just below 200, 1 long ball, 5 doubles on the year. Out of Lexington, South Carolina. In fact, she graduated high school a year early. She should have been playing her senior year of high school this year, but graduated early and playing college softball. Second and third with 1 out. Gamecocks down 3 here in the bottom of the 10th. Shelton hitting in the 6th spot. It was originally where the DP, Anaya Black, was, and then Elena Vaughter, when she came into pitch, occupied that spot when Black was pinch run for twice. And they weren't going to bat the pitcher, Sage Margetko, in that spot. So Shelton gets the AB here, takes a strike on the inside corner. Shelton near the top of the box, kind of crowds the plate. Fisted foul, that one riding in on the hands and somehow got a piece of it. Well, Gamecocks 1 for 27 with runners in scoring position in this series, 0 for 13 today. They've had opportunities, just haven't been able to come up with the hits with runners in scoring position. 2-2. Popped up left side. Laird, the shortstop, calls and catches, and there's 2 away. And the Gamecocks down to their final out here, and it brings up the left fielder, Bree Warren. Warren started the scoring in this game with a sac fly in the 4th inning. She's 0 for 3 rather. 3 flyouts, including that sac fly. A strikeout last time against Pinnell to end the 8th. Had a deep fly ball to center field in the 6th inning, just missed a home run. 2 outs, 2 on, a 3-run lead for Missouri here, looking for the sweep in the 10th. Grounded right side, Gallagher's got it, and that'll do it. Missouri sweeps the Gamecocks here. They take the final game in 10 innings, 5-2 the final score for the Tigers. It's their first Chester stands in. The DP swings and misses at the first pitch. 0 for 4 today. For Hay, the freshman, that was her 3rd home run of the season. 2nd home run of the day for the Tigers. Marjetko way ahead. No balls and 2 strikes here. But the freshman gives up the long ball here. Hits are now even at 6 apiece. 0-2 pitch, and Leno can't backhand it. That's going to be at least a single. Chester's going to dig for second. Here comes the throw, not in time. So Chester has her first hit. They're going to score an error here. Let's see. Yeah, Leno didn't even get the glove down. That's going to go as an error. A 2-base error on Zoe Leno. They'll get a pinch runner at second base. It'll be Danielle Blackston. 3rd time we've seen her, the freshman, as a pinch runner in this series. All this with 2 outs. Shantice Phillips at the plate, 0 for 1. Was a late defensive replacement. Grounded back to the pitcher, Elena Vaughter, last inning. Pops this one up behind the plate. That'll reach the seats. What hits her in the helmet, and Phillips hit by the pitch. They're at first and second now, and the wheels coming off for the freshman Sage Marjetko here. Been good all season, but having a tough time here coming in the 10th. A fly out, a single, another fly out,